All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down the entire holistic system behind one of the most demanding martial arts on the planet, Muay Thai. Yeah, and this quote really hits it. It's not just about, getting a good sweat in. This is a full-time commitment, a lifestyle, really, built on centuries of tradition and discipline. Imagine being in that atmosphere where every single person is pushing each other to their absolute peak. So what does that legendary grind actually look like? Let's dive right in. We are going to deconstruct a day in the life of a Nak Muay, that's a Thai boxer, to really get under the hood of their training, from sunup to sundown. Okay, part one, forging the engine. The day kicks off well before the sun even comes up with a mandatory 3-hour session. And when I say mandatory, I mean it. This is a crucible, really, designed to build an unbreakable physical and mental foundation. It's not optional. This sets the whole rhythm for life at the camp. And the very first thing on the agenda? That iconic road run. We're talking 5 to 10 kilometers every single morning. It's a non-negotiable cornerstone of their conditioning. But you gotta wonder, right? In this day and age, with everything we know about sports science, is this old-school method really still the king of conditioning? And that question leads us to this really fascinating debate, this clash between traditional grit and modern science. On one hand, you've got science saying, hey, sprints and HIIT training are way better for mimicking the explosive bursts you need in a fight. But on the other hand, for Muay Thai, that long, slow run it's culturally vital. It's seen as a daily test of a fighter's jai, their heart. It's not just about cardio, you see. It's about proving to yourself, and maybe more importantly, to your camp, that you have the spirit to just endure. So you think the run's over and you get a break? No way. The work is far from done. After that run, fighters move right into what can only be described as a conditioning gauntlet. We're talking jumping rope, but not for a few minutes. Try 30 minutes nonstop, sometimes with weighted ropes just to make it even harder. Then it's a whole burnout circuit. Burpees for explosive power, pull-ups for that crucial clinch strength, and plyometrics to build speed. The whole point is to push their limits when they're already gassed. Okay, so once that physical engine is absolutely fired up, the session shifts gears. We move from just raw conditioning to actually honing the craft, refining the weapons of the art of 8 limbs. And there's a really clear logical progression here. It all starts with shadow boxing, which is kind of like visualized warfare. You're getting your footwork and flow down. Then you move to the heavy bag for just pure, high-volume drills. We're talking 100 kicks in a row to build power. And after that comes the real centerpiece of the session, pad work. This is that high-intensity back and forth with the trainer. To top it all off, they'll often finish with clinch drills, that grueling close-quarters grappling that is just so important. And you can't talk about pad work without talking about the crew, the teacher. Their role is, and I don't use this word lightly, sacred. This bond goes way beyond a typical coach-athlete thing. You see, during pad work, the crew isn't just a passive target holder. No, they're live opposition. They are actively testing the fighter's will, countering their strikes, and pushing them way past what they thought their limits were. Now, this is a really crucial point. The grind is not the same for everyone. Let's look at a local Thai fighter, a Nak Muay. For them, this is everything. They're often fighting for their family's honor, for their livelihood. The daily volume they endure is just staggering. So for them, pad work is a brutal test of will. It's simulating the fight that literally puts food on the table. Now contrast that with a visiting student, a Farang. They're there for self-improvement, for the experience. Their pad work is going to focus more on learning combos and fixing technique. It's still super intense, for sure, but it just can't match that relentless do-or-die pace of a professional. So how on earth do you sustain this kind of output, day in and day out? Well, it's impossible without the right fuel. And this is where we see modern science really becoming a critical, non-negotiable part of this ancient tradition. Think about it. To even get through that 6 a.m. session, a fighter's day has to start around 4:30 in the morning. And they have to eat. They need a light, easy-to-digest meal packed with complex carbs and protein, probably about an hour to an hour and a half before they start, just so they have that sustained energy without feeling heavy or sluggish. And then, after that absolutely grueling workout, the clock starts ticking. That recovery window is just as critical as the training itself. They had to get a meal in, something rich in protein and carbs, within about 60 minutes. Why? To repair all that muscle damage, refill the energy tanks, and get the body ready for, you guessed it, the second training session of the day. And this chart really illustrates the science behind it all perfectly. It's not just about stuffing your face after a workout. It's about getting that ideal balance of macros. You need to replenish all those carbs you burned for energy, and you absolutely need that protein for muscle repair. It's a science, and it's just as important as throwing kicks. Okay, so we've covered the body, but to really, truly understand the grind, you have to look beyond the physical stuff, beyond the nutrition. Because Muay Thai, it's the heartbeat of Thai culture. It's woven right into the fabric of the nation. I mean, the history of this art goes back centuries. It started as Muay Baran, which was a deadly, practical combat skill used by warriors to defend the kingdom. But over time, it evolved. It became a sport, a powerful symbol of national pride, and eventually, the global phenomenon and protected cultural heritage that it is today. And you see this deep heritage honored before every single fight in the Y Crew Rum Muay. This beautiful, graceful, and sacred ritual dance, it's a powerful reminder to everyone watching and to the fighters themselves that this art is rooted in respect, in gratitude, and in humility. It's not just about violence. So let's put it all together. You take that pre-dawn conditioning, the brutal technical work, the dialed-in nutrition, and you add in those deep spiritual, cultural roots, that's when you finally start to see the whole picture. See, Muay Thai isn't just a workout. It's a holistic system. It's designed to forge not just a fighter, but a resilient, disciplined, and respectful human being. That relentless grind, it builds so much more than muscle. It forges character. And all of this leaves us with one final and I think pretty provocative thought. In a world that's obsessed with quick fixes and life hacks, what can we really learn from a discipline that demands everything and offers no shortcuts? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.